Good afternoon. Today is the 5th of October, 2016. It's Wednesday. The time is GMT minus 6, and that's 1500 hours and 19 minutes. And as it has been the case for a few weeks now, I'm just outside of Janesville, Wisconsin. This is going to be a very quick podcast. I'm literally watching my time to make sure it's very quick. And the name of this podcast is She the Civilian Who Continually Meets Spies and What She Has Learned to Do with the Learned Experiences. Around 2010, I had an unpleasant experience, and please note this is British speak that I'm using. I had an unpleasant experience in the United Kingdom between London and Birmingham. It was unpleasant, and again, it was in 2010. I decided in 2011 to travel back to the United Kingdom. And between London and Birmingham, I had an experience and several sets of experiences. And one experience in particular is when I left the country in 2010. I typically hire a shuttle or I do one of these group shared rides things. And something happened and it had happened several times before. Well, anyway, something happened, so I ended up with my own individual lift to the airport, and so that meant that the driver could go directly from the airport in Russell Square in London, England, to Heathrow Airport. The interesting thing about the ride and the journey, and I have to tell you, I've never had a driver's license. I don't know how to drive, and the reason why I've never tried to get I did try once to get a driver's license, is I have a very problematic sense of direction. I don't have a sense of direction. I literally cannot tell you how to get from point A to B, even if I go from point A to B every day. Every day is a journey filled with, oh yeah, this is how you get there. But in any case, when I got into the car, the vehicle, the taxi, with the driver, I noticed something right away. It wasn't the right way back to Heathrow like I knew, but I had a general sense that it wasn't the right way. But what was also interesting is that the driver was going by a lot of the places that I have emotional connections to in London, England. For one moment, I was concerned that he thought he was going to get extra money out of this. Maybe he was he thought this was a metered journey. I didn't know what he was doing, but I remembered when the service called, the shuttle service, they told me not only did I not have to pay for the journey, they would take care of that, they would take care of the tip, so I just needed to get into the vehicle, be driven to Heathrow, and then that was it. But the journey became one of a great deal of emotion. Some pleasant, some confusing. It wasn't the right way to Heathrow. It wasn't direct at all. And I was going by all of these places that grounded me, connected me, and rooted me to London, England. Now I'm going to go back a little. And in December of 2010, when I returned from what was an unpleasant experience in London, England, I went online and I was doing some stuff on Facebook, and an ad came up about travel to Israel. It was in a Twitter message. It said Shabbat Shalom. It said Shabbat Shalom. And I know you're not supposed to do it, but I did it. I clicked on the link. It was in my Twitter direct messages. I don't even know who the person was, and I know you're not supposed to do it, but it took me to a website on Facebook. That's what happened. And the website on Facebook was in this color that is my favorite color. And it had a list of my interests. And it also had one of my personal obsessions that is an obsession that I find humorous, although it annoys everyone around me. The page was illustrated with this beautiful blue backdrop in the particular shade of blue that I like. How I define myself, how I connect with the world. Then, beginning in 2012, I started traveling to Toronto. Prior to that, the only time I had traveled to Toronto was my flight that was coming from London, England to Chicago, where I lived at the time. They got rerouted. So that's not traveling. That was an emergency. It was literally an emergency landing. But when I got to the airport in Toronto, the immigration officer spoke to me in both. She initiated the conversation in French. I do know French, although I think that anybody hearing my French now would probably dispute that and have a great deal of justification for disputing that. But in any case, she made it, the Canadian Border Patrol officer made it quite clear that they knew that over the years I had had various contacts with various foreign intelligence communities, foreign to not being Canadian intelligence communities and not being American intelligence communities. And they were very Canadian and very polite about it. And they said, and I'm almost exactly repeating what the young woman said to me, the immigration officer, they would not like me to have that connection in Canada, those connections, and if someone did approach me, I should notify them right away. She was all very polite and all very pleasant, very Canadian. But when she said it, I started crying because I have over the years and named the country and the nationals, and for a time I was meeting a number of foreign intelligence officers, foreign to my nationality, who in most cases encouraged me to come to their country to look at, to participate in working with a myriad of others on social cohesion matters, things like that. So I'm going to cut this podcast short. It's just over 7 minutes. And I'm going to say in conclusion that all those experiences that for decades I couldn't make sense of, I finally, in the last 2 years, realized what I was going to do with them. Since it's an ongoing experience that I have, and the former paramilitary man from the IRA, he thought that I should be pleased as a peace builder that part of the equation for me was already there. You already know there's certain types of people. I don't know what you're upset about. That's what he said. And the activist part, which is my community, I'm good with that. He didn't understand why I was upset. My reasons for being upset were valid then, and there's still some validity a great deal of validity to me being upset. But in any case, to keep true to the ethos of this and the theme of this podcast, I know what to do. I'm working on going to school for my master's degree. I do know a lot of people from this in the activist community in 3 countries now: England, Canada, and I know via Facebook some Israeli activists. I think when you work on social cohesion, realistically, you do need the assistance, sometimes the intervention of the state, sometimes the advice of the state, sometimes to challenge the state. So in any case, as I continue my journey with fingers crossed and praying to all of my belief systems that I'm able to land in the program that I'm seeking, to continue my education. I will be working, God willing, with Israeli activists, British activists, and Canadian activists. All right, so this podcast has gone a lot longer than I thought, and I apologize for that because I did say it would be short, but in conclusion, the name of this podcast again is She the Civilian Who Continually Meets Spies, and what she has learned to do with the lived experiences. This is Debra V. Wilson. It is the 5th of October, 2016. And again, just outside of Janesville, Wisconsin. Thank you.